We see you getting after your fitness goals. But what about those money goals? You can count on Credit Karma for a clear view of your finances and your progress, helping you see results so you can keep checking off those financial personal bests and find your way to money. Progress never felt so good. Download the Intuit Credit Karma app and start achieving your money goals today. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to When Reality Hits with Jax and Brittany. Jax is in Canada. Woohoo!
I'm like, he's here?
So today we have one of my very best friends and Valley castmates. How do you, castmates? Janet Caperna.
Woo! I'm so excited.
I know. I love you. I'm so happy that you're here.
I can't wait. This is fun.
So the Valley.
Oh,
Valley.
It's been a wild ride.
It's been crazy. It's your first time. I mean, so everybody listening needs to realize Janet has been around for a very long time. She's also been in a lot of scenes on Vanderpump Rules.
If you look closely in the background, I would say I'm a non-playable character, an NPC. Like, I'm just kind of in the background, like having a drink or eating birthday cake or something, but I'm never speaking.
At my wedding, you had your
I was crying. Yes, I forgot about that scene. Yeah.
So Janet has been around and she's absolutely amazing. I want to get to the very beginning of you getting to know this crazy world that we're in.
Yeah.
So let us know how you came to be in LA.
Well, okay. So I was married in Ohio. I got married when I was like in my 20s and too young. And I was getting divorced in Ohio too, or separating. And I have family here in LA. So I have an aunt and uncle who I'm really close with, who you've met and been over at their house. And so
we actually filmed an episode of Vanderpump Rules at their house, by the way.
Did we?
Yes. Isn't that the one where we were like, yes, we filmed like at their pool for something on Vanderpump Rules.
I remember being at the pool. I don't remember filming it. It didn't make it on then.
I think it did because there was like the glass mirror doors that were in the thing and we were all like sitting down. I forget who was having a breakdown. I think
sounds
Lala,
right.
or was it Lala?
Lala was with us.
Somebody was having a breakdown.
Oh my God, I have to go rewatch this.
I research before this, but I think I definitely know that we filmed there.
Well, so they live out in Los Angeles and I was like, I want to move somewhere where like I have family, but I can get away from like Ohio and my marriage and life and all of that. So I came out here, and when I was looking for places out here, kind of secretly, like my husband didn't know at the time that I was actually like looking for places and like planning my out. I was out here for a long weekend and I met Sheena at the pool, at a pool party. Actually, I rented an Airbnb that was walking distance to this bar, the Sycamore. It was like this, whatever. So my friend Allie, who you've met, who's been one of my friends from home, we walked up to the Sycamore for brunch, and then we asked the bartender, like, where should we go for like a fun day? Like, what's cool that we can get into? And he was like, the Mondrian has this like cool pool party. And like, I was like, do we need to like know someone at the door? And he's like, no, you can just go. And so we went, and then I saw Sheena there. I had seen her on the show, and I was like, oh my God, she's getting divorced too. Or like, Rob was with her at this point. So she had already gotten divorced. But like what was airing at that time and like what I knew of her was like, oh, this is a girl who's like pretty young, also getting divorced. So like after a couple drinks, I was like, I'm not going to say anything to her. Like, it's fine. And my friend Allie was like, well, yeah, you might as well, like, let's get a picture. So I literally like went up and said like, love you on the show. Yeah. I know you're getting divorced now too, or she was like already, and she's like, actually, it's my boyfriend. And I was like, wow, all right. So things worked out for you clearly. And we like ended up hanging out all day. Like once I told her I was like going through a divorce, Sheena's super nice to people when they come up to her.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so she's like, let me buy you a drink. And like we like talked, we like ended up taking a bunch of shots, getting like wasty at the pool. And it's funny, like Allie and I left and I was like, it was nice to meet you, whatever. I think we exchanged information, but I was like, I'm never going to hear from that girl again. And here we are 7 years later.
Yeah.
And Sheena's like one of my best friends and the reason that I know everybody else. So like after that, I remember she like texted me a couple times, like random stuff. And then when I moved out here shortly after, I actually ended up moving in with the bartender who told us where to go, which is wild. But when I moved out here, then it was like the first week out here was my birthday, and Sheena took me to Disneyland and like treated me. And then I always say, like, I literally owe meeting my husband. So I owe my child. I owe all my friendships now in a roundabout way, my job, quote unquote, like, you know, all this. I'm like, if it weren't for meeting Sheena that one day, I wouldn't have any of this. And it's, you know, I recognize, give credit where credit is due. Like, I am very thankful because Sheena really like introduced me to a whole new life out here.
Yeah.
I always think like if that bartender would have told me to go to a different pool or a different spot, like what my life would be like now, like I wouldn't have Jason, I wouldn't have my baby, I wouldn't have you.
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
I like, trust me, I think about that all the time too. Like if I wasn't in Vegas at the same time for Kara's birthday that Sheena was celebrating her birthday, like I would have never met Jax. Like obviously we're going through our stuff, but like my life would be completely different.
Totally.
You know?
And can we clear for the record, because I just saw somebody else say Janet stalked Sheena, just like Brittany stalked Jax.
Question to you. That was going to be my next thing. Like, explain to people that like nobody stalked anybody.
This is my thing. I always try to be very open and honest. Like, yes, I had seen the show. I knew who Sheena was. When I went, I wouldn't have just randomly gone up to her.
I did not see the show, but my best friend Kara had.
Yeah. And so it's like, of course, like we went up, you know, to them and we're like introduced ourselves.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like this. One, I wasn't stalking Sheena. Like I didn't know she was there when I went there.
Exactly.
I just saw her there. And once I saw her there, I was like, oh, that's that girl from Vanderpump Rules. She's the one who's getting divorced. I'm going to go say hi to her after a couple drinks.
And be like, I'm going through a divorce too. Let's talk. Like that's something you have in common.
And I feel like there's a lot of friends, not necessarily in our group, but in like adjacent to the Vanderpump crew that started like who met people because they had seen the show and like went up to them and whatever, and they don't admit it.
Yeah.
And I think that's shady. I'm like, I have nothing to hide.
That's very
you know,
shady.
I would rather just straight up tell people like, yeah, I had seen the show. I went up to Sheena and we ended up becoming friends. It's wild and weird, I know, but it's the truth.
No, and that's amazing because I think that's very important to be like open and honest about that. I actually did not see the show before, but my best friend had, so she told me all about it. Like, it's not like I wasn't aware.
Totally.
Obviously.
Totally. And if it weren't for Kara seeing it, you probably wouldn't have approached them and been like, hey, what's up? Or like partied with them.
Well, Kara wanted to take a photo with Katie.
Oh,
so I literally took a photo of Katie and Kara together.
That's so funny.
And then Schwartz comes up. We go to the bar. He's like, they're all like, let's take a shot together. Katie was so nice. So we went up to the bar, took a shot. That's when Jax walked up. And that's how I met Jax. And then that was the beginning of everything.
That's how we stalked our way.
I'm like, I didn't stalk anybody. And also, I think a lot of people got me confused with Carmen because I do believe, I might be wrong, I do believe that Carmen DM'd Jax and that's how they met. So, like, I think a lot of people were like, Brittany DM'd Jax. No, I did not. I wasn't even following him or anybody from Vanderpump or anything.
It's just thing. You can give people like a little bite of it and then they're always thinking there's more to the story. And I'm like, I'm telling you the whole story here. Like, and I'll be open and honest. I could be like, oh, I never knew who Sheena was. I just happened to. No, the truth is I had seen her from the show. I approached her because of that. But we developed a genuine friendship.
Exactly.
When people are like, she just used Sheena to get in this group. I'm like, you think I've been wasting 7 years of my life to use Sheena, who I'm still friends with, by the way. I'm like, when did I ditch Sheena? I don't remember that. And then I'm using Sheena then to get, and I'm like, that's also insulting to Sheena that to make it sound like I would, I don't know.
I get what you're saying. Like to use her to 7 years later, now we have the Valley and Janet's a main cast member. Yeah. No, I like, me and Janet met and we had an instant connection as well. So it was
you were single. I moved out here obviously when I was going through my divorce.
Like, do you remember the first time you met me?
Yes, you and Jax were broken up. It was during that period of time. You were living in a hotel suite.
Yep.
And Sheena and I came. We were going out and we were out and about one night. We came to your hotel to like meet up with you. You were getting ready and then we were going out somewhere. I forget where we went. I could probably find like a picture from the night or something in my phone, but we all went somewhere like a bar or an event or something like that. And that was the first time I met you. And I just remember being like, oh my God, her accent makes me feel like at home, or like I know that, like I went to school in Southeast Ohio for college at Ohio University. And it's like, you start to get close to the Kentucky line or like down south and like you get that accent. And I was like, oh, she reminds me of my people from home. And I think that wasn't the first time I met you, but one of the first times we all went to Disneyland. It was like Jamie, me, you, I think like Sheena's sister and mom, and we all spent a day at Disneyland. And
I love Disney.
But you and Jax were like broken up temporarily
Yeah.
at the time.
Me and Sheena traveled a lot during that time.
Sheena's a really good friend to be single with.
Oh yeah, she
She's
was
the
like,
best.
"Let's go,
Yeah.
let's go." That's so funny though, because
I
now
love
like
it.
me and Janet are so close.
Yeah.
And this is 7 years later.
7 years. And obviously, even when we started talking about, there might be a show that's, based around like you and Jax's friend group and like our neighborhood kind of thing. Obviously, also, I had a long conversation with Sheena about like, how do you feel about this? Do you think I'm right for this? Like, do you know me really well? Like, do you think I should do this? Like, it wasn't just like, all right, Sheena, I've gotten what I need from you. Like, it's just, I don't know. I need to stay out of the comment section, clearly.
Yeah, get out of the comment section.
Oh my
Do not
God.
listen to anybody because people can be so mean.
There's been a lot of nice stuff, but
yeah.
just as much, I'm like, I don't know, just some of the stuff I see, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, people can be like horrible in the comment sections, but like, of course, there's so much more love.
Yeah.
And like people are really loving the Valley. And we're so grateful for that, obviously.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to like make it clear how you came around this group.
Yeah.
And then obviously whenever you married Jason, like Jax and Jason got close, like, it's very like real and organic. It's not like we were like, oh, Janet was stalking Sheena, so now we want her to be on. Like, no, that's not how it happened. We've been super close for a very long time.
Because that would be like, wouldn't that be a good like true crime story if I ended up like, like killing you, everybody, or it was like some sort of like cool, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm watching too much true crime too.
No, yeah, I watch a lot of true crime. Okay, so since you have been through a divorce and a separation before, and we all know what I'm going through, what is your best advice for me or for anyone listening that is going through a separation right now?
I would say, that's a great question. I would say, one, having clear boundaries is very important and sticking to them. So like, and I think you've done a really good job. I know that you have trouble with boundaries. Like you're very forgiving, or you're like, it's okay. No, we don't have to do it that way. Like, and I feel like you sacrifice yourself often, but you have like made a boundary in the sense, like a physical boundary that you have moved out. Like, and you've been like, no, I'm not, coming back to the house anytime soon. So I think having boundaries is really important, like your own space, and just telling the person like, we don't get to talk maybe every day or all day every day. Like, I know you and Jax actually have really good communication about cruise right now. I think that's good. But having boundaries of like, this is where I sleep at night. You can't call me for every little thing.
Yeah.
Like really establishing good boundaries. And then I always say like, I like, don't like, if somebody's being a jerk, like let them. Don't react to it and become a bigger jerk. So like if Jax is like annoying you one day, instead of being like bah, 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 and like popping off on him, just be like, all right. Like
that's something I need to do better at, because like if we get into an argument, I'm gonna pop back off. So it's like I gotta like reel that in. It's hard
because and it doesn't make you feel good afterwards. You're like, I should have just let him be a jerk today instead of being like, then I told him off and this, and now I feel bad that I'm the jerk. Like,
I definitely feel like over time I'm starting to like get better at that. I'm starting to like let go of a lot of things.
And then just also I think like embrace sadness, like separation, divorce, like all of it is like a sad time. Like it's like not what you never go into a marriage thinking it's going to end.
Never.
So, also just like if you have a sad day, like let yourself cry, like let yourself listen to a sad song and like have that moment, and then reach out to your friends and be like, all right, now I want to go to dinner and be happy. But like when you do have moments of sadness, like don't push them away.
Yeah. And I definitely have those moments.
Yeah.
Janet's seen me.
Yeah.
Janet's seen me whenever I've been like breaking down in tears and everything. But I'm also like feeling very good and very strong. And like I have like, I don't know, I feel very good at where I'm at right now.
And it's not all or nothing. You know what I mean? It's not you're all happy or you're all sad. It's like, of course, you're doing really well right now and being strong and like, doing your own thing. But I'm sure you still have moments where you feel weak or sad. And it's okay to like, it's, you don't have to be all strong or all weak. It's like you're always going to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. And that's definitely what I'm noticing. Like I have my ups and downs like big time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch gears.
Okay.
So this is your first time being like a main cast member on a reality TV show. I know there's a lot of things that come with being on reality TV, obviously. You've done it for a lot of years. What is your favorite parts and least favorite parts of what you have experienced so far?
So I'll end on a good note. So least favorite first, I would say, is like the trolls and the hate.
Yes.
Like, and being sometimes misunderstood. You kind of always see, I think, on shows like two sides to every story. And we don't see what people say in their like interviews and confessionals until it airs. So sometimes there's things that happen. I'm like, no, wait, that's not what I meant. Or like and being a little misunderstood sometimes, or just having people, having one of your bad moments caught, and then people being like, wow, she's really bratty. And you're like, damn, I was really bratty in that moment. And like, wish you could take it back, but you can't.
You can't.
Out
it's on
there.
TV.
It's out there. So like having people hate because, or be like, oh my God, she is horrible. I'm like, damn, I was horrible in that moment. But that's not who I am all the time. It was just one bad moment.
It was a bad moment. And that's what I think a lot of people need to realize. Like, if you had cameras following you around during your hard times, you're having a breakdown while you're pregnant or a breakdown while you're fighting with your husband, like, you're going to have bad things. You're going to say things you don't mean. Totally. You're going to do things that you don't mean.
Yeah.
And we have to
rewatch it over and over. Yeah, I keep saying, there's one comment too that's gotten to me a little bit where people are like, she's just hiding behind her pregnancy while she's like conducting all this evilness. And I'm like, one, I haven't used my pregnancy as an excuse for anything yet. Like
yet.
Like anything yet. I might in the future, I might have at some point, but I felt like I'm fine, but it's, seeing the negative comments is not fun. I will say the positive is like, getting brands that you kind of like, there's like a couple brands that I've always like followed or purchased their stuff before, and like having them slide into my DMs and be like, can we send you a package? I'm like, what? Me? You're gonna send me like, cookie dough and a stroller? Like, awesome. So like that part's fun. And it's fun also to have, all of us hang out. And we're all obviously real friends in real life. But we would normally, like, when we're not filming, see each other like once a week or like twice a week, whatever. It's kind of fun. Like when everything's going on, we see each other like all the time. Yeah, like it's like almost every day is like something fun, an excuse to get dressed up or dress down and hang out. But like it really like bonds you even more because I feel like we get to see each other like even more.
Yeah, no, that's so true. That's like, it's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun to get to plan stuff and
Okay. So now we all know that you're a new mother.
Yes. Little baby.
So let's go into some of that. How are you feeling as a new mom?
I'm feeling good. Honestly, I felt like everything went almost too well for a while. It was really like my birth, labor was hard, but nothing horrible happened. The first 3 months I was like tired and all of that, but got through it. The first time I actually started feeling like any sort of, I don't know, postpartum anxiety or feeling just like not myself a little bit was at 3 months postpartum. And it's still kind of trickling in now, but that was the first time where I felt like a genuine drop off almost, where I just felt really weird and off and I couldn't pinpoint where the feeling was coming from. And then I started Googling, of course, like I'm so grateful that there's like such a mom network out there. Yeah. But like
because now people actually talk about postpartum. Yes. I feel like nobody did for a very long time.
Because I Googled, I'm like 3 months postpartum, like hormone shift. And it was like this whole thing about science about how like, yes, at 3 months, you do normally experience like this drop off and shift and your body changes a lot. And I'm like, oh, I didn't experience it early on, but I'm feeling it heavy now. Yeah. So overall, I feel like I'm super grateful for everything, and healthy and happy is like all I care about. And I have a healthy, happy little cutie that I'm like fully obsessed with. But for like me personally, I did notice a big shift at 3 months that I'm still like working through. I just started therapy again because of it, but it's hard, but it's the best thing I've ever done in my life.
Exactly. Like there's always struggles, but like it's the love that you feel is incredible.
And I'm so grateful, obviously, for you, for all of our little mom network that we've made. Like,
it's so good that we have each other.
My baby loves you. Like, he's like fully upset. He like smiles. He loves pretty ladies. He's like always smiling at you. And it's like been really cute to see Cruz and him interact.
Yes.
Like Cruz like was like staring at him the other day, and his pacifier fell out. My baby's pacifier fell out, and Cruz like walked up and put it back in when he was like fussing. And I was like, oh, I was like, you knew what would help him, didn't you?
I know, like little sweet things like that.
Yeah,
to see them grow up together is going to be amazing. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for you.
Me too. Thank you.
What has been your biggest struggle as a new mom?
I would say that like 3-month hormone shift was like hard. Getting used to not sleeping. Like I'm breastfeeding and pumping. So like I'm up every 3 hours. Even if he's sleeping through the night, I'm up. So just being tired and then getting used to bringing him places and feeling like even just comfortable. Like it's literally like, you're like, do I have all the stuff I need? Am I going to be okay? Like even just like putting him into the car for the first time, I'm like, I didn't hit the stroller brake and he like started rolling off and I was like, oh my God. I'm the worst mother in the entire world. What if he would have rolled into the street? Like, you know, just getting
you caught him immediately, but it's still like this mom guilt is like very instant and it's hard.
Or days when I'm like really tired, instead of like, you know, I've been trying to do a little neighborhood walk with him in the stroller every day. But on days when I'm exhausted, sometimes I'm like, I can't do it. And then I'm like, oh, I'm the horrible mom. All he did all day was like sit with me and walk around. Like I strapped him to my chest and we walked around the house together. I'm like, I'm the worst. And I'm like, actually,
all he wants to do at this stage is be with you. Yeah, honestly.
And
you're doing an amazing job. I'm so happy for you and so proud of you guys.
Thank you.
So switch gears yet again. The other night we had a dinner party.
That was so
here
fun.
At my new Airbnb. And it was with Chef Gino.
Oh my gosh.
Which he's a cutie patootie.
He's so cute.
But I want people to know that whenever, because actually Janet and I planned this together, and whenever we were talking about this, it was because our episode on the Valley in Malibu, Chef Gino was actually in Malibu as well. They just didn't show that part of our girls' night.
They didn't show us eating.
Yeah, they didn't show us eating.
Before and after.
Before and after, whenever I'm like shaking my titties in Michelle's face.
Well, they had to make room for that.
Yeah, they had to make room for that. And my like mile long story about crab walking in the ocean.
Oh my God. I loved that so much. I was dying. Which
that. I keep saying. I was saying this all night at the girls' dinner. I was like, this show is caught blocking me. Like they are showing my face is frozen, my jaw's frozen for a majority of the season, which that was my own fault. And yes, I'm addressing it again because people seem to still not understand why my mouth looks like that. It's because I had that Morpheus done.
When you told me you were doing that, I was like, are you sure? And you were like, yeah, it's a quick turnaround. And I was like, I don't know if you should do this.
And now it's like all season long. It's my biggest regret. I mean, not really my biggest regret because I love how it looks now, but the regret is that I was not
didn't do it a couple weeks sooner.
Yeah, I didn't do it a couple weeks earlier, a month earlier, actually.
You would have been in the
then
clear.
I would have been fine. Like you can tell in my interviews versus on camera, like the difference. Like I'm back to normal in my interview bites, and then on camera, it's like
you're downturned.
Yeah. But people can continue to ask me, why does your face look like you're frowning all the time? I'm like, did you not watch the show? Like it literally showed. And that's so frustrating for me because I feel like half the time people know what happened and they're still just wanting to comment about it.
Jason said this the other day to me because I was like, I didn't say that. There was something I was like, I didn't say that. Kristin did. And I'm like, why does everyone keep asking me if I said this and this and this? And Jason's like, you know how you are when you watch TV. You're on your phone. You're half paying attention. You look up, you miss something, and then you just think something else happened. He was like, so just give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, they're going to mix stuff up. And I'm
that
like,
is very true. But still, back to the cock blocking.
I know. Honestly, what Hawkeyes are watching? I mean, maybe there's some Hawkeyes watching Bravo, but you know it's mostly the girlies and the gays.
Yeah. True, I hope. But still, I'm like, gosh, we didn't have Chef Gino on there, but we had me talking about the pooping in the ocean and with the door up. Let me make something clear really fast. Whenever this happened on the boat, we were out in the middle of the water. Like, what do? You have to go. And I was scared. So Jax was like around me, but there was no people around me.
Honestly, that's the nicest thing he's ever done.
Yeah, that's probably like one of the best things he did for me. But nobody else was around me. Like, I'm mortified that I did that, obviously. But that was like,
you got to go.
I'm telling the truth.
You got to go.
Shit happens to everyone.
Honestly, I don't know if I've told this story publicly, but I shit my pants in front of Jason. On our couch, and Jason cleaned it up.
Oh my God!
He's such a sweetie. I came out. I waddled. Were
you pregnant?
No, it was.
You weren't even pregnant.
It was that time. Remember, it was I think 2020 or 2021. Katie had everyone over for Thanksgiving, and everybody got COVID.
Oh, it was her Christmas party the weekend of Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, because I always had Thanksgiving, and then she would have the Christmas the Saturday after. Yeah.
There was 10, or there was 15 of us there, and 10 people got COVID. So everyone got COVID. I was sick. I all week had been like dressed gross, whatever. And I finally started to feel better. So I put these like cute silk pajamas on, and we were sitting on the couch about to eat. And I thought I was going to have a cute little boop fart, like a little doop doop. Like
a little fluff.
I was like, this will be a cute little fart. So I just like turned, lifted up a half a cheek and let out what I thought was going to be a super cute little fart. And instead it was hot liquid lava.
It was a shart
everywhere. Not just a shart. Like it was liquid, like just like I peed out of my butt. And I immediately jumped up, and then I looked at the couch, and there was like a little brown spot on the couch. And Jason and I had cooked dinner, and I had made like chicken with like mushrooms. So there was like a brown sauce on our plate. So Jason looked at me really confused. He's like, did you just, and what he meant, I guess, was like spill on the couch. And I went, yes, I shit my pants. Okay. And I ran out of the room into the bathroom, like peeled my poop clothes off of me, got in the shower, rinsed off and everything, called my mom from the bathroom. And I was like, this is it. This is the end of our relationship. Jason's for sure leaving me. Like, I pooped our couch. My mom was like, oh no, well, he's a nice man. So hopefully he's
a nice man.
Hopefully he understands. And I walked back out, and Jason goes, I cleaned it up with soda water. You think that's okay? And I was like, you're a dream. I was like, thank God for you. Truly.
Jason is so sweet, but I love that you just told that, because it makes me feel way less embarrassed, because it almost looked like on the show that I'm always just like pooping in front of Jax. That is not the case at all.
And I think we meant the whole thing was that Michelle goes to the lobby.
Yes.
We poop in the closed bathroom in our rooms.
Exactly. And I will be in the closed bathroom in a room, and Jax will still walk in there to tell me the smallest thing. And I'm like, get out of here. This is what he's done since day one. I mean, it was on.
He follows you around.
He follows me around. I'd be in the bathtub, anything. Like, he is like, walks up to me, like, basically just like wanting to have a conversation with me. So that's what I meant whenever this was on the show, is because the fact that Michelle would like, if they're staying in a hotel together, she would like go downstairs. Like, if I'm dating a brand new man, I'm probably going to do that too. I'm not just going to like let it all out in the bedroom.
You're kinder than me. I think also Michelle doesn't just go to the lobby. It's not like she's like, all right, Jesse, I got to poop, I'm going to the lobby. No, she like pretends she's getting coffee. She's going to go pick up some coffee and like a magazine from the shop. Do you need anything? And I'm like, girl, you're better than me. Like, if I could have a wife, Michelle, I think I would pick her, because I'm like, damn, that's like so considerate.
Yeah. Like, she like
crazy,
literally does that. And after like Jesse and Michelle's been together exactly 3 months less than Jax and I have.
Wow.
So what I'm thinking whenever she says that is like, you still do that to this day, this many years later.
Like 8 years.
Like, I get it in like the first like year of your relationship. Like, my ex-boyfriend I would never, like, it was never around each other, whatever. But like, Jax was just the opposite. He's just like,
immediately pooping with the door
2
open.
weeks in, I'm washing my hair in the shower, and he has to come in. And
oh God!
It was wherever we lived. I think it was actually on Vanderpump
you
Rules.
One apartment or one bathroom in your apartment.
But that's the difference, because I know it was like on Watch What Happens Live. They're like, "Do you agree with Brittany or Michelle?" And I'm like, "Hold on,
like,
I don't poop in front of Jax.
No, this is not an open door policy or the lobby. There's a middle ground, and that's where we are.
Exactly, especially after 9 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's like a big difference.
100%.
But still, that was so funny. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We got into pooping.
Okay, wait. So we had Chef Gino.
To Chef Gino.
We booked him here because we thought we were going to watch him or see his beautiful food on the episode. We missed it, but we did have some delicious food that night. We had some delicious food here. It was so awesome.
It was amazing. And you knew Gino from like our Craig's, which we love Craig's in LA.
He was a server there. And then during COVID times, he started posting on his stories that he was doing food drops. And then he where he would literally like make a lasagna and you could go pick it up if you were friends with him. He was just like testing out food. And then he became a private chef basically because of that. So anytime we can use a private chef.
Yeah, and he's sweet as a button.
And really nice to look at.
Really nice to look at with really nice food.
Yes.
But it was such a good time. Like, we had all the girls and the gays here, and it was like very fun. And we got to watch, we eventually got to watch the show. It was a whole thing. Couldn't figure out how to get it on the TV.
God.
I'm like, we can't even figure out how to get our own shows on the TV.
No.
Lala and Sheena were here. We couldn't figure any of it out. But Ocean was here and Cruz was here. And it was just so cute because Ocean is like building her little magnetile house, and Cruz kept knocking it down.
Yes. And I was sitting with her, and she was like, build this one. And she like showed me pictures of it. And Cruz kept eyeballing us. Like I could tell he was like, those are my magnets. Like, what are they doing? But he was playing with like dinosaurs or something else, like sitting right next to us. And I was like, he kept kind of eyeballing though. And once I built this thing, Ocean was like, yeah, it's great. And then all of a sudden Cruz walks over and he just smushes it because they fall apart, you know, it's like Lego-ish, like smushes it. And Ocean furrowed up her face and goes, oh, Cruz. And she did the eyeball thing like from Meet the Parents.
Yeah.
And goes, Cruz, I'm watching you.
Yes.
And I died.
It was such a Lala thing to do. It was so cute.
Lala claims she doesn't do that. She was like, I don't know where she saw or learned the eye thing from, where she's like fingers pointing and looking at, you know.
Oh, I feel like I've seen Lala do that.
I feel like I actually have too. Maybe she doesn't realize she does it.
She probably doesn't realize.
Yeah, but it melted me. And then Cruz was like, looking at Ocean like with her like little angry face. I was like, oh, you guys, it's like, okay.
Cruz is like, wait, what? What's going on?
These are my magnets. It's fine, little Ocean.
Okay, so now we're going to go into a little recap of the Valley. I want to start off with Jax acting like he cleans my entire house.
Oh my gosh, I died when I saw this. Does that man, okay, I have a question for you.
I was so mad.
Not to be a Tom Sandoval who says that Ariana never ordered anything for the house or whatever, which is also bullshit. When do you think the last time Jax Taylor ordered toilet paper, paper towels,
like
groceries?
It's been years. Like been years and years. He will go to the grocery store sometimes, but like since our separation, especially, like he doesn't know what to order to the house. So I will send groceries to the house. I'll send everything to the house because I want to make sure if Cruz is there, like, yeah, but like I'm starting to like back off, like the longer that we've been separated, like I'm starting to back off for doing those things more. But for me, like whenever he got this like edit to where he looks like he cleans the whole house and like I'm like, people, I need you to understand. And if Jax was here today, he would
say
agree
the same thing.
And he would say the same thing. I already talked to him about this. Like, he does not know how to turn on the the
washer dryer.
Does not know how to do any of that. Has never swept the floors, wiped off the countertops, done anything like that. So what he does do though is if we are planning a party and having people over, all of a sudden he's OCD and has to like it's like a weird thing that he does to aggravate the shit out of me. Seriously.
I understand. It's like kind of like a show off move.
Yes.
He's like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff. And it's like,
I had somebody comment under my photo of me on the interview couch or whatever, where I was looking very hot, by the way. And they said something like, oh yeah, so Brittany comes home hungover and Jax is cleaning the whole house. And I was like, oh my gosh, absolutely not.
No.
I literally clean that house top to bottom. I do everything for them. And Jax would say the same thing. So yeah, he was that day being aggressively like cleaning and stuff, but he does that anytime we have like a party at our house. We would have a pool party, and then he makes everybody feel uncomfortable whenever they get there.
Yeah, he's like, you done with that drink?
Yeah.
You want me to throw that away?
But he doesn't do that normally. No. So that's something I wanted to make clear because I was like, this is not how our life was at all.
Give him the leaf blower credit. You're not using that leaf blower.
No.
That you can give him
the yard
credit. Yeah,
is
that's
his thing.
Yeah.
He's supposed to take care of the yard. I take care of the inside, the family, everything like that. Yeah. But he is the yard person.
I'll give him leaf blower, and I'll give him if your sink needed plunged, which I didn't even know you could do.
I was like, what's happening
plunging
there?
I guess that's his job too. But the rest, I will say, is you for sure.
I mean, I've plunged all the toilets. I've done it all too. So yeah, trash cans, getting the mail, and leaf blowing the yard.
Those are good tasks for him.
Yeah.
It's not like he does nothing.
Sometimes he'll do the dishes here and there, but I was just like, oh no. We have to clear that up big time.
Now, every once in a while, when you go back to your house, I know you go for like Cruz's speech therapy and like some of that stuff, or like to grab stuff. Is there ever times where you walk in and you're like, oh my God, and you're like still picking stuff up?
I can tell since I've not been staying there all the time how different it is. Like just like the counters and like I'm very
the little things,
like that. I can tell like the difference. And the refrigerator is not stocked.
Oh,
the groceries aren't stocked.
I can't imagine.
The pantry is not stocked.
I can't imagine. There was a while where the top of your freezer had like almost smoke marks coming out of it and Jack's like, I don't know what's up with this thing. And I was like, have you seen how much food you guys have? That thing's working overtime.
And I know sometimes I do it a little overboard, but like my mammal has been very much like that. Cause like, as a lot of people know listening, like we all live close to each other on the farm. So it's like my mammal is the person who has everything.
Right.
And I think I grew up seeing that. And like, that's how I am.
You're
now.
the host house.
Yeah. and I love being the host house. And I'm still, even at my Airbnbs, I'm going to be the host
I'm like,
house.
there's still all the snacks here. I love it.
Like my pantry and fridge is stocked here.
Yeah.
But like, that's like, it's weird to see that, you know, whenever I go
understand
back.
wanting to keep stuff stocked for Cruz because I know you don't want him to go without all of his favorite stuff and his like stuff he needs. But you do have to just eventually, that's another boundary soon that I feel like you're going to have to put up of Jax needs to figure out what's on the grocery list and make sure that he has the stuff for Cruz.
Yeah.
You make sure you have the stuff for Cruz.
He's
here.
been texting me like, hey, what groceries do I need to get for Cruz? Because I'm starting to like try to back off. And he, you know, he obviously wants that for Cruz. I'm not trying to bash him in that way.
That's what I mean. He's capable.
Yeah,
he will do it.
He will. But I just wanted to make it clear that he does not clean the freaking house. I was like, I could not believe that. And the fact that people actually said that.
Well, sometimes you catch one moment of somebody and people think that's how it always is. And it's like maybe Jax was picking up this one time, but that's not the norm.
Exactly. I also just felt like every time that the show has been showing me, my jaw's already frozen. I'm always maneuvering my outfits. I'm hungover, like in my cool mom shirt, or I'm like eating chips in the car. Like,
oh my God, the chips in the car. We were stuffing our faces. I was like, there, you know, the drive from the Valley to Malibu is like an hour long.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you have cameras in your car and, you know, all of that, I'm like, we can eat in the middle. They're not going to show this. And of course they do. They show us stuffing our faces with Funyuns.
Yeah. Like, we're like, and also like they filmed me and Janet going into like a gas station. Getting all the snacks. And then like getting liquor to bring to the party and like all that. And then we're just like eating the whole way.
Stuffing our faces. I think I was mowing on some Funyuns on that drive.
It's so funny because like Janet's like narrating being like, we just had a very nice, clean, I forget all the words that you use.
Happy,
like,
healthy
girls
whatever
night.
It was. Well, honestly, that girls' night was the first. I'm so happy we had that night because it was the first time in a while where everyone wasn't screaming at each other.
Exactly.
We kept getting together as a group and there was always unresolved stuff. Mm-hmm. Everybody had a feeling or something had to say. And this is the first time where we were just like, forget it. Yeah. Let's just check into this house. I swear it also has something to do with seeing the ocean. When you have the ocean view outside, you can't be an asshole.
Trust me, I agree.
It was amazing. Kristin had her tits out. Yeah. Which I will say, as much as Kristin and I have our moments, that girl has the nicest boobs I've ever seen.
Great titties. She told me that Luke was so upset over that.
Really? I was wondering because I remember when I saw, because I wasn't drinking obviously this whole summer. So anytime everybody started getting lit, I was like, I loved it. I was like laughing at everybody.
Yeah,
like,
you got to be sober and watch us all be crazy.
Like it was just like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to remember all this. And I remember when Kristin, all of a sudden she turned around and she had this robe out, or she had robe and her like boobs were out. I turned around, I was like, Kristin, I think it's like in one of the trailers. You hear me go like, Kristin.
Yeah.
And that's me. And because what I guess you don't see and kind of some behind the scenes is like, there's like 10 other people in the room filming this and listening to our audio and all this. And I'm like, oh dang, the camera guys are getting a treat tonight.
Yes. Woo woo. She looked great though.
She looked great. I was wondering
she looked great on Watch Women's Live too.
I was wondering if Luke was gonna get
I think he was a little bit like nothing like crazy, but I definitely think he was a little Jill. But still, it's just funny. I mean, I'm so happy about the show. I think it's going great. And I've said multiple times like how proud I am of all of you guys, like brand new coming on the show and showing as much of your life as you have and like putting it all out there. I know it can be hard sometimes, but like overall, I think we've made such a great show.
So, well, I think everyone came on very raw and real. Yeah. Like Nia's stuff this past episode of sharing her postpartum. I'm grateful for that now because just slightly having feelings like that and being unsure of what like I liked that she wasn't like, oh, I'm not going to just diagnose myself with depression. Like it's maybe more than baby blues, but I don't want to put a label on it yet. Like I understand that, like not really being sure of what what is going on and how to describe it. So like her putting that out there I think is amazing. I think Jesse and Michelle putting their therapy sessions and stuff and talks like that about their marriage. They could have easily come on, and same with you and Jax. Everybody could have come on and been like, we're perfect. Yeah. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. We're just going to play it up. And no, everybody like truly was really real. And we're like, we're not going through the best time. And this is what life and marriage is.
Yes. And that's why I think our show is so relatable, because like these are real life things that all of us are going through. Yeah. And I appreciate it so much from you guys. Like I've said it so many times, like how, because I know what it's like to be brand new on a reality show, like all the pressure that you feel. Granted, Vanderpump was already like, came on season 4. Like, I'm so glad like this is brand new. Yeah. Like for me, it feels like really awesome that this is a brand new show as well.
And it feels, I guess, refreshing in that way. Like, you know, we don't see each other's, you know, moments all the time until it airs sometimes. And so when I see other people's stuff, I'm like, wow, like this is really real. Like, I'm happy that everybody's sharing stuff. I think like there in a couple episodes, there was a moment that you're going to see where I have a breakdown over something. And I remember in that moment, all I wanted to do was escape from everybody, from the group, from the cameras, from everything. And I ran away and I sat for a second and I thought, I can either lock this door right now, not let anybody in and have my full meltdown, or I can embrace that I agreed to share my life and let the moment happen where they're going to see me maybe ugly crying and being really mad and all this stuff. And I remember being like, oh, I might regret this, but all right, I'm not going to lock the door and they're going to chase me in here and we're going to see the moment.
And that's like awesome that you're like willing to do that, because that is what people don't understand is so hard. You have to like realize that you're going to like let your whole life out there for people to judge. Yeah. No matter what. Like,
and they will.
As soon as you become on a reality TV show, they're going to judge you the way you look, the way you act, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you anything. Like your entire life is up for grabs.
And judge you based on how other people that you're around perceive you and the things they're saying about you. Someone else can say, oh, she's like this, and then people will judge you based on that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a whole crazy thing.
It's a weird experience.
Let's talk about something funny really fast, because you were there and it went viral. Cruz's cake falling at his birthday party.
I was dying at that. You know what? I didn't tell you this at the time, but when we were at, what's that place called? Sky Zone.
Sky Zone, yeah.
It's like a trampoline park. Yeah. Really fun for like the 3-year-old crowd. Yeah. And when they brought this like, you know, a party table in and they were setting it up in front of you guys to put the cake on. And when they were setting it up, it looked wobbly for me. But
I tell from afar it was already wobbly.
I'm a control freak, so I always think like, oh, is that right? Should I go? And in my head, I was like, should I go? Like make sure? Like should I go under the table and make sure that it's like upright? And I was like, no, you're crazy. Leave them alone. The Sky Zone employees are perfectly capable of putting a cake table together. It's going to be fine. And as soon as it fell down, I was like, I should have told them that
I obviously didn't notice, because I'm like picking up Cruz, trying to find him, rally the troops, to, like get ready for cake, doing all this. So like I didn't notice anything. And I loved Sky Zone. They were amazing. Yeah. They felt so bad that the table fell. Like I'm not blaming them at all. No. It actually made like lifelong memories that like everybody at the party will probably, like a 3-year-old's birthday party, you might not remember like 20 years down the road. But now everybody's going to remember this. You know what I mean? Like that, like it almost made it better in a weird way. But
and the cake was saved because it landed on the tablecloth.
Yes.
So
and it didn't explode.
No.
It just like the layers fell apart.
Tilted over.
Yeah. It was like actually very good. And we were still able to serve it to everybody at the party. But it's so funny because I feel like in the video, you can tell, for those of you who haven't seen the video, there's a table put up in front of like our balloon wall and everything. And we're singing happy birthday to Cruz. And Cruz could like care less to blow out his candle. So me and Jax are like, okay, let's blow it out for him. So we both like lean in, but I'm holding on to Cruz. So Jax like puts his hand on the table, and I think just that extra weight just made it fall over. But also Cruz's feet were like kind of like, you know, it was just a mixture of everything going on. The table collapses, the cake bounces.
That was so wild how it bounced.
But I just cracked up.
Yeah, I loved that you had a good time, because a lot of people in that situation might cry or freak out or something, and you were just like
I just laughed. Like, I was just like,
what are we supposed to do?
It was also the end of the party. Like, I just thought it was funny,
Yeah.
you know? And now it was just a memory that everybody's going to have forever.
Yeah.
The funny, like, we love Sheena, obviously, but a lot of the comments after was like, I wonder how Sheena's feeling about this.
Oh my God. People keep saying that. Did you see her tweet responding to these comments?
No, what did she say?
Somebody, after there was a New York earthquake, said, oh, I wonder how has anyone checked on Sheena after the New York earthquake? And she responded to it and said, I actually don't go to New York until next week, but thanks. And I was like, yes. I was like, yes. I'm glad Sheena. She has a sense of humor about
my gosh. So funny. She's so funny.
When the cake first fell, though, immediately I remember looking, and then I saw that it all fell into the tablecloth, and I shouted out, and Jason said something to me later about this. I was like, I'll still eat it. I was like, I still want some.
I made a statement. I was like, no kids were hurt. The cake is still edible. We're good.
We're all
fine.
eating it.
I kept saying, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And it was delicious. Funfetti cake.
Yes, it was really good. It was really
Who
good.
made that?
It's called you know how I don't know how to pronounce things. Ghetto.
You'll put it somewhere.
Ghetto. Okay, yeah. I tagged them. I tagged
it.
Hold on. Let me say it out loud. Let me say it out loud. The Ghetto Shop. Is that how you say it? Ghettox.
It's THE
Gate Ox Shop.
GATEAUX. Ghetto. I think that might be.
I said Ghetto. Okay,
something like that.
The Ghetto Shop. They're great though. They made his Rookie of the Year cake too.
Oh,
for
that
his
was cute.
party.
I remember that.
Yeah,
one.
like they're amazing cake makers.
I love it. No, the party was so fun.
Bakers, yes.
That was I've never seen so many children in my entire life running around and stuff. I was like,
there was a lot of people there. But Skyzone is such a fun place for kids.
Yeah, you guys belong there, right? Because I remember Jax being like, oh, we normally take him here like during the week, and when it's a little less busy, he was like, I don't know if I've ever seen it this busy before. I was like, oh my, it was a wild place.
Yeah, I mean, kids are crazy. They in a blink of an eye, they can be gone 2 seconds. So when that many kids are around, it's like terrifying a little bit, like Disney, anything like that, especially with a toddler. The other day I was at Target going to find my Us Weekly magazine cover plug, and I had Cruz with me, and he's holding my hand, and I take a video here we are getting it, and I let go of his hand for 1 second, pick it up, and he had darted off running.
No.
And you know how fast Cruz is.
He's really fast.
So he darts right into the clothes.
Oh.
It's hiding underneath the circular things with the clothes hanging down. I'm screaming, Cruz. I'm freaking out, can't find him. And all of a sudden I start hearing he, and I knew it was Cruz. And I was listening for the laughs. And he was just running around.
Him.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was terrifying.
He probably had the time of his life.
Oh, he thought it was hilarious. He thought it was a game.
Yeah.
But the sliding doors aren't that far apart. I was scared he could run out. It was just that was the scariest moment for me.
But don't you remember being a kid, losing your mom in the grocery store, or
I lost my mom in Winn-Dixie once.
Oh,
and I literally Did
they call her over
aisle.
the intercom?
Oh, I cried. I was crying my eyes out. Where's my mom? But Cruz can't do that yet. So he's just running around.
He's having the time of his life.
He's having a game with me. It was terrible. Janet, when I say it, I was scared to death. I was scared to death. And it was within 5 seconds that I found him. But
I'm scared for that.
Gosh,
my baby can't run yet.
Kids will be gone. I let go of his hand for 1 second. All of a sudden, darts.
Yeah. He's a fast little boy.
Right into the clothes.
He's fast.
It was crazy.
Aww.
Okay, before we sign off, I'm going to ask Janet a couple questions from people who wrote in. Okay, this is from Kel_Cini. Is Janet friends with Kristin still?
Kristin and I saw each other for the first time in a while at the premiere party that we had at Jax's bar, and we spoke for a little bit and we were friendly. Kristin and I, we've had a long history. And we've had a lot of ups and downs, and right now might be a little more of a down moment. And it's hard to rewatch everything and relive a lot of the annoyances and arguments and all of that. But at the end of the day, I will always wish Kristin well. I care about her deeply.
Yeah.
Even if she drives me crazy sometimes, or I drive her crazy, or whatever it is, I do wish her well. And right now, maybe our friendship's not in the best of place, but we'll see what happens.
I definitely think you guys could get back to some sort of friendship.
We'll see what happens. I think with time heals all, and
who knows? We'll see. Hopefully, we get a season 2.
to be continued. To be continued.
Okay, This is from Casey Ann McRawson. Can you ask Janet to talk about her relationship and how they have prioritized it since the baby?
Well, Jason, one, I'm the difficult one in our relationship. Jason's an angel, and he truly is like, every day I'm grateful for him. He is an amazing husband, an amazing father. Prioritizing a relationship has been hard the last 4 months since having a baby. Like, it's something we're definitely like, yeah, like, you know, having sex is harder. Like, we're, you know, we've done it, but it's like much harder to like, you're like, all right, he's sleeping. Do we feel like doing it right now? Or do we want to go? Yeah. Do we want to go to sleep? Yeah. And I don't feel the best. My body's still not back to
trust me,
what it was. My stomach makes me very insecure. And Jason, tells me that I'm beautiful and makes me feel good, but it's like inside I don't feel like myself.
And that's my biggest struggle. Yeah. So I completely get it.
So that part's hard, but we try to take time. Both of our moms have been super helpful in coming down, and my mom's moving here soon, but she's been here for like a couple weeks at a time. Jason's mom's flown in. So when grandmas are here, we try to do a date night, even if it's with other people or whatever. We try to like kind of have a moment and do something fun, but it's hard. Yeah. Any advice, send it my way, because we're still figuring it out too. And it's difficult.
Yeah, it definitely is difficult. But I think you and Jason are doing a great job. Yeah. Like, you guys are great parents. I'm so happy for you all.
Yeah, he's been the greatest dad ever.
Oh, yeah. And you guys are such cute parents. I love it.
Thanks.
All right, one last question. This is from Kales_. Janet, do you agree with Jax saying you are like him when it comes to stirring the pot?
Oh, my God. I have never been more offended in my life. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, look. I do agree. Jax and I think everyone in our friend group and all of the Valley people that you're seeing, all of us like to gossip. I think Jax and I admit it. Like, Jax and I will be like,
you guys are a little bit more louder about it, or up front. Like, maybe you bring things to just about anything.
I think also we're open about it. Like, if Jack's like, oh, I got something, you want to hear it? And I'm like, hell yeah, I do. What you got? But I also think there's a difference between fun gossip. Like, fun gossip is like, ooh, did you hear that like Katie and Max slept together? And you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. That's like, it's just like fun stuff. And I think there's also not appropriate things to gossip about, like people's marriages and when there's kids involved and stuff like that. That stuff I don't want to gossip about. And sometimes it gets dragged kind of right in front of you. And that part's not fun. So I think everybody in our friend group should admit that they like little fun gossip stuff. Like,
I'm definitely not as much as like Jax is definitely the way bigger gossip than I am, but I still like to gossip.
Jax likes to be the first person to tell you something. So if I will keep it
in no matter what. But if Jax hears news, he will tell it no matter what.
There's a difference. To be the first person to tell you something.
Exactly.
So
I think he's done to you many times.
Yes, totally. So I think Jax and I are similar in that way. I do think though, Jax has a lot of stuff to work on that we're very different in a lot of ways.
You're not like the same at all, but like, Jax said that in a interview bite. So I thought that was a great question.
I was more mad that he called me a silent killer. I was like, what the hell does that mean?
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are like, I'm like, Jax and Kristin, there's a couple of things that they've said like that we're all pawns and Janet's evil plan and stuff. And I'm like, damn, like, you guys are making me sound like I'm like this evil, malicious person a lot more. I'm like, I don't have time for that. I'm like, if I had time to make all these people pawns in my plan, whatever,
plot it all out,
I'd have them be organized in my closet, cleaning out. Like, I have a storage unit that needs cleaned out. If I could control people, make people my pawns, I wouldn't have them destroy things. I'd have them help me clean it up and doing a bunch of other stuff. That's not how I would use my powers.
Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, Janet, I love having you here.
I love you. This was so fun.
Much. Janet has a new podcast out as well. Yes. Tell everybody about that.
It's Jason, Jared Lips, and I. It's called This Side of the Hill. It's everywhere that you can find podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that. And it's really fun. And it gets released on Wednesdays.
Yes. And your Instagram?
Janet Elizabeth with an X at the end, because some old lady has Janet Elizabeth.
Maybe one day you'll be able to take it back. All right. I love you so much,
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And thanks everybody for tuning in to When Reality Hits. We'll see you next week.
She talks about etiquette.
Get your fingers out of your mouth.
She talks about where to find a deal.
You know, if you sell me something on Instagram, I buy it. Whoever markets to me does a fabulous job.
She talks about the economy.
We used to joke that'll be the thing to send them to therapy. Okay, we're creating jobs. Can we look at it that way?
She talks about parenting.
These kids want to come home. They don't want to leave. They don't want to drive. They want to stay in the womb.
Let's Talk with Heather Dubrow every Thursday on PodcastOne or wherever you get your podcasts.